So Neil, your thoughts on today's game?
Well, firstly, I think Robbie and the groundsman deserve massive credit for getting it on. Whereas you look through the fixtures today, there's only 3 in our league, and there's a load off in the Prem and the North section. So massive well done to them for getting the game on. And the pitch played really well. To be fair, it's cut up a little bit towards the end, but I thought the pitch was fantastic. And I thought as a performance with 11 and then with 10, we were outstanding today in terms of conditions with us. First half, had that quality and a goal threat. Scored 2 fantastic goals from good build-up play and 2 great strikes. Rooney's I thought was superb, and then Tilly's bit of magic. And perhaps could have scored a third or a fourth, but I thought Spalding were good on the break. When the conditions against them first half, and showed a threat really on the counter attack, and had quite a bit of ball, and we defended well and deserved to go in 2-0. Second half, with the conditions, you're always hoping that we can get something on the break, but with 10 men, with the wind against you and the rain driving in, it was always going to be really tough. But they deserve massive credit, my boys, for the shape that they kept 4-4-1, if you like. I know at times we just, aimless punts upfield, but you're just trying to take a bit of pressure off your back 4. But for 45 minutes, they haven't broke through the lines, and Adam hasn't been stretched once in 45 minutes. Very, very similar to Gould a couple of weeks ago. So, in terms of, again, I'm saying the same thing to you, in terms of with the conditions, without the conditions, we've been the better side, and we've had more quality with the conditions, and dug in and ground out 3 points without the conditions.
As you say, it was always going to be more difficult in the second half of the conditions, but Woody getting sent off just before the break, was that a bit frustrating?
Well, massively frustrating, and I think he knows that once he's dived in the first one and got the yellow, he knows, he's held his hand up, he knows that he shouldn't be diving in. He shouldn't be diving in anyway, but the second time in 10 minutes when you just had a yellow, he hasn't helped himself and he hasn't helped the team. But these things happen, this is football, and we're playing against a team that, potentially want to try and beat us. You're going to get fouls, you're going to get tackles, you're going to get decisions that go for you and against you. At this moment in time, things are going for us. That's gone against us today. We'd lose him next Saturday anyway, would he? Because he's he's had his 5 bookings, but he'll get another game ban for 2 yellows. So disappointed, but it just shows team spirit, work ethic that the lads have, with 10 men, have got. I wouldn't say him out of a hole, but they've got the team 3 points. Based on having 10 men, that was tough against a good side. So I'm disappointed with him being sent off, but he knows he was in the wrong. But we move on.
I would say that second half, you wouldn't really, if you turned up at half time, you wouldn't have been able to say that you only had 10 men, because they never really created it.
No, well, they haven't, and we set out to make sure that it was difficult for them to get in behind and break us down. If you're asking me why they haven't, I don't think they've moved the ball quick enough from side to side to make the most of the extra man, 2v1s down the side. When they did, I thought Rooney and Studge and Ben and Tilly at left back were excellent. They never really breached in behind us, so they never got any width and got any balls in. And then we switched that and put Levi on wide, and we looked at changing in Tilly, but at left back he did a good job. He held his ground and had good possession. Changed it, put Levi in there, fresh legs on the left hand side, and got Alex on for Rooney, and they've not had enough quality to open us up. So I'm really pleased, and I've spoken with Nick and Martin about it just after the game, that another game where lads are having to do things that they perhaps don't really want to do, 4-4-1 and playing out of position, Tilly and bringing players on to fill in voids, if you like, and they've taken on board what we've asked them to do at half time, and they've done it and secured the 3 points.
When a player's got a big blue bandage on his head, you always notice them more, but JJ was immense today, I thought.
I thought so as well. I thought him and Shooter were superb. The whole team was fantastic. They really were. You can't fault any of them. Work rate, effort and desire, and that quality when you need it was there. But he was touch and go, JJ, with regards whether we played him. It's a nasty cut, and it goes right down the side of his face. And it's only 3 or 4 days since he was glued really, and he's got some stitches in it. So we left the decision to him, and he wanted to play, which I thought was risky. Bearing in mind you get a knock on it or a ball hits it, then it's opening up again. But he was desperate to play, and that's what we have at the minute. We've got lads that don't want to be out the side. We've got 5 lads and a couple out of the squad who are desperate to play, and lads don't want to give their shirt away too easily. And I think JJ was there with that this afternoon when I spoke to him. If he wouldn't have made it, Miles would have got in. If Miles plays well, then he looks to keep the shirt. So fair play to JJ. I thought, you're right, I thought he was immense, absolutely immense.
Like you say, you're going to be without Matt Wood next weekend anyway. There's going to be at least 2 games now. Have you already thought who might come in to replace him?
Yeah. We got ample cover. Malsey, Alex Melbourne, you know, defensive wise. Tilly's done a good job at left back today. We can switch to a 3 quite easily and play Malsey, Shooter, and JJ, and play 3-5-2. We've got lads who are desperate to get the shirt and play. So, although we haven't got a natural left back at the club now because Lucas has gone back to Grizzly, doesn't worry me. And the manager can play left back as well.
I bet that. We're hearing that Tuesday's games might be called off. Has that been confirmed yet? Do you know?
It's not confirmed, but you know we've got to be a little bit wary about the pitch. I was concerned this morning with the amount of rain that we had, that the damage it would cause to the pitch with 2 games, you know, in quick succession at home. But it's held up well today. But you know, there's no way Robbie and the groundsman are going to be able to get on the pitch and do anything on it between now and Tuesday. So if you were asking me now, the Ensford game, I would say it'd be very, very doubtful. You know, some work needs to be done on that before it's played on. And if they can't get on it because of the weather, you know, we cannot afford to risk this pitch. You know, and today it's took its toll today, and it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's damaged, and we need to leave it, in my opinion. Let it dry out, let them get some work on it, because it's when are we on the next Boxing Day? So I think it's Boxing Day, yes, Sheffield away next. I think it's Boxing Day, we're next on it. So you would think that it would be in decent nick for that. What I don't want to happen is we start, you know, playing on a mud bath. So that decision hasn't been made yet, but I think the club know my standpoint on it.
And with Shore Lane's game off today and Colville playing tomorrow, it's 12 points at the top now. It's quite a healthy lead at this point. Yeah,
12 clear of Colville, 15 points clear of Shore Lane. Yeah, it's very healthy, and it's a lead that we want to extend and keep extending, and the lads are hungry to keep winning. We've lost 1 game in 21 league matches, which I think is excellent. I think we're 12 unbeaten in the league since the Shore Lane defeat, something like that. So in good form, in good nick, players playing well, players playing with a desire to keep the run going. And we just want to keep extending the lead as far as we can. I'm not really interested in what Colville and Shore Lane do and how many games they've got and what they haven't got. It's all about us. Momentum's with us. Keep doing what we're doing. There will be a knock here and there. We'll pick up a draw, or we might get beaten over the Christmas period. At some point, it will happen. You know, you're not going to go the rest of the season without dropping points. That's for sure. But we've got a healthy lead, and I repeat what I've said over the last few weeks. When that happens, it's important that as a club, fans, players, management, committee, we stick together as a team, because, you know, like I say, we are going to get a punch on the nose at some point. It's how we recover and how we go on the next run after that, and we need to be united and galvanised as a football club to make sure we come through that.
Okay.
No worries. Cheers, thank you.